All right, coming at you live from the Red Room. Doesn't sound good, does it? Okay, I am gonna go through walls, doors, interior walls, windows, kind of in how to work through and read these drawings. So that's kind of the first thing I want to do is walk through this PDF that I sent you and sort of understand how to read it. Um, So here's the title sheet, site plan. I'm going to show you how to do site in a future video, how to do these contours. But here you can see that I usually would start with the main level plan, and you can hold down the control key and zoom in um, and look at some of these things. So you can sort of see dimensions. One of the things you'll notice is that this thing is flipped from how we were doing it before. So you can always rotate the view if you want to look at it so you don't get too disoriented. But we can zoom in here and start to see all of these dimensions now, and so that we can understand how to set up things. So you can see already if I over here, Control F2 to go to main level. In here I've already kind of got a lot of these windows in here. You can see there's the 5.1 and the 1.9, the 1.9, and I kind of have this moved out 8.1.5. So you just want to do that by going into the windows and setting them up. So if I click on a window, you can see these little nodes at windows. This is where you can select them at these little points. So if I click on this little guy, this gives me the width, this gives me the height, and then I can Control D to drag. So I can, if I want to get it exactly 8.5 inches, I could drag right to the corner, Control D, and drag over and type in 8.5 inches, and that gets me where I need to be. And then I can, put in whatever dimension I need to put in for the dimension. So that's kind of how you operate with windows. For the heights of windows, the thing I would recommend doing to do this would be to get all the windows in place in the correct spot in the plan and to the correct width, and then go to the elevation drawings, which are right here. I have to rotate this back around. And in that first elevation sheet, which is sheet A4, at the bottom there's a window schedule, and on the elevations themselves there are little numbers on each window. So you see 1, 2, 3, and then there's this little octagon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hexagon at the door. This is a infinitygon, infinigon. And then down here you can see that what all those labels mean. So like if I go to window 3, I can come down here and go to window 3, and that is, and I'm always using the rough opening height in the drawing because the drawings are for framers. So window 3 is 7.1 and it's 6.11 and 5/8 high. So this is where I can get all the heights for windows. And you can see over the course of the house, there's really only 3 or 4 different heights that you're dealing with, but you just want to watch what you're doing and make sure that you know where they're at. So let's see, we've got 6.11, number 3, 6.11 and 5/8. So let's make sure I got that one right over here. 6.11 and 5/8. Awesome. Okay, so that's how we do windows. Let's see if I'm going to go up. And one of the things that I did not do yet is the windows on this wall. So let's do those together, shall we? And away we go. Up, 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 there. So I'm doing these windows on this side. I'm flipped back. So that's a 3.1, 3.1, 3.1, and 3.1. They're all 3.1. So what I'm going to do is go over here. I'm going to look at one of these that are 3.1, like this one. Get where I have a check mark. See how I've got that little check mark? That means that my window is selected. If you're over here, you're going to select the wall or something. But I want to be right on the check mark to select the window. I'm going to Alt-click that guy and get him. And then I'm going to put him right, let's see, it would be a node on the other side. So I can stick it right at the corner like that. See that little crosshair that I get? That puts it right at the corner. Like that. And then I want to come in, this is where it's going to get a little trippy. I want to come in 10 foot 8.5 inches from the corner, from the outside corner, right, to the side of the window. So I'm going to go like this. That was doing Control D. Now I'm doing Control D again, and going over 10 foot 8.5 inch. There's that. And then I'm going to do the next one, Control D. And then I'm going to hit the check mark, just tap Control again to make that little plus sign come up. Boink, boink. Do that. And then I'm going to drag it, Control D, drag it 4 foot 9 inches. 4.9. And then I'm going to do another one. Control D, tap Control to copy. Control D to move over, and that is 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 5.5. What does that work out to be? 2.5, 5.5. 2.5 is 5 plus 5 to 10.5, 10.5 inches. And I'm pretty sure this one's the same, right? 10 foot and 8.5. That's 10 foot 8.5. So what I'm going to do is, instead of copying one, I'm going to mirror this guy. So I'm going to select this window because this is the same dimension as this dimension in the plan, right? So let's see how can I do this. So I'm going to select this window. I'm going to do Control M, and then I'm going to hover over this wall until I get to the center point of the wall. And I'm getting all kinds of center points here, so I got to make sure I hit the right one. But I'm going to presume that it's the same as this little tick mark right here from the spring line of the roof itself. So I'm going to go right there, click there, and there it is. It puts it on the other side, but it didn't make a copy, right? So I'm going to do this again, Control M, and hit Control again, and that makes a copy from that point, and there it is. So the other thing that's a little funny is this is 4.9, that's 4, 8.5. So essentially those are supposed to be centered on that wall too. So something of mine's a little off because it looks like these aren't quite centered on that wall. Let's see what I'm looking at for dimension here. It's like 5'1". So I'm missing. Oh, it looks like there's this little 2.5 inch right there. So it is 4.11. And there it is. I missed a couple inches right there, didn't I? So this comes in. So I essentially have to drag this 2.5 inches. So what I can do is I can select this window, hold down the Shift key, select the other window, Control D, 2.5 inches. That looks about right. So that's that. So now I want to see what these look like on the side to make sure that the heights are right. So I'm going to go to the elevation. I'm going to click on this elevation over here. These are my little elevation markers, and I'm going to right click. You know, I'm hovered over that, so I have that little wishbone. Right click, open elevation. There's an old house. There's a new one. Okay, so then these are the windows I just did. So what I'm going to do here is go to the elevation that has those right there and get the numbers. So these are 15 and those are 8. Go back up to here. 15 is 4, 5.5, and 8 is 111 and 5/8. 4, 5, 5/8, 11, 111, 5/8. So I'm going to go here, select this one, hold the Shift key, select that one, and then I will set that height to, what did I say? 4, 5, and 5/8. 4, 5, and 5/8 inch. And then I'm going to look at these two guys, and those are 111 and 5/8. One trick you can do here is once you have one of these set up, you can just, you know, all these are 5/8, so I could just do this. Boink, 1-11. And there I go. So now that I've done all this with all the windows around the house, I'm just going to verify that these all look right. So let me go to F2 and let me make sure this is the street side elevation. So I'm going to get this one. Open elevation. Looks like I've got the basics in the right spot. You notice I'm sort of in the elevation, I'm sort of missing a line here. You'll notice this too. It's largely because everything in the model right now is the same material. Once we get different materials in, those lines will resolve themselves. Same with these little bits of line here, like this little line will differentiate itself at some point, but we'll get there. So I'm going to go to want to look at this side elevation. Open. And let's see how I'm doing here. Looks like I got everything. Looks like this is getting a little tight to the window. Usually what the window to roof is a minimum of 4 inches. So I might have some discrepancy there with a number of things, but one of the things that probably is happening right now is that this is representing itself as a rough opening, and this is representing itself as a finished dimension, though there will be some shingles and stuff if it's a standing seam. So I might have to adjust this a little bit at some point. I might need to bring this down to, perhaps this is down just to 9 feet, although that wouldn't do it either. I might need to change the size of this window. Let's do this at 2 foot 11 5/8. 211. That looks better. Which means I'll have to change a couple of other ones, and I'm deviating from the plan, but it's largely because I need to. It means I'll need to go here, this guy, and this guy. I'm going to change all of those to be 211 5/8. Keeps the intent of the design, but it makes the building perform better. Sorry, Eric. Got to make it perform. Then I'm going to open this elevation and see how I'm doing on that side. It looks like I've got all the base. I don't have my foundation lower level windows in yet. I can do those as well. I can do them right now, but I'll do them when I get this checked out. I'm going to open this elevation, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, this one looks like it's wrong. What number is that? Number 5. The height of number 5 is 411 5/8. So we'll go over here. 411 5/8. And that's it. Those are my windows. So I'm going to come back and do the next video doing all the interior walls, showing you how to do line work to help you as guidelines to do interior walls.